Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and welcome to the Zwift live broadcast of the CVR World Cup League race, Zone E. We are right into the season with the first race of the winter season. Quick little bit of information here for you. What the CVR World Cup is all about. We are starting with the winter season. We already did 4 weeks of the preseason to see who were the fast guys and gals out on Zwift leading into the World Cup. And now we have 8 weeks of racing starting now on January 2nd. The first 4 weeks are going to be split into, well, that's going to be 8 weeks split into two halves. We're going to be having 3 races count toward points in this first half. And I'm excited to see how it ends up playing out. Joining me for the broadcast will be Mr. Quentin Lefay, coming out of France here with 15 seconds to go to the start of the men's race. About 45 seconds to go, start of the women's. It's going to be super exciting. 4 laps of Hilly Watopia, Quentin.
Yeah, very exciting course and very intense efforts up the hill. And we are going to see right from the gun who's got the legs to do something today.
Yeah, this course is super tried and true, that's for sure, when it comes to being able to break things apart, be an amazing race course. It's got just enough climbing in it to, separate the field a whole lot, but at the same time, it definitely has the ability to cause a lot of tactical racing at the same time. Now, right up front, though, being a Hilly Watopia 4 laps, going forward into this climb with 2 minutes all out, or even less than that, it's going to be everything they got to the top of this mountain. Well, this hill, not mountain, Watopia Mountain, off in the distance. They're laughing at my words, but this climb is really going to be a make it or break it for a lot of the riders out here.
Yeah, right from the first lap and from the first minutes, actually, this mountain, like you like to call it, might cause some trouble to a lot of riders, and should cause the first separations in these groups. And it's going to be interesting to see, well, who can hang on with the big boys and get to the finish line with the front group.
Yeah, we are seeing here Rachel Elliott also taking off from the get-go here in the women's race now as well. She's already got, it looks like, a 3-second gap. Be watching out for this. If they let this go a little bit too far right away, it's going to be curtains already. And now we do have Kev Falco there from Vision trying to chase that down in the A category. Amo there 4 seconds back. We also see Carissa Min jumping out there, getting in amongst the racers, and so this is going to be super cool to see her out there. She may even be streaming her race. We'll have to see if she is, as she was streaming yesterday some training actually over on Twitch, so good to see her out there hammering away. Someone who surprised herself, she said, actually, in both the eCrit as well as the CVR World Cup League actually in the preseason, so good to see her out there. Now, jumping back in with the guys here, though, we can see there are some attacks taking place like we said they would be. About 4th or 5th place right here. We do have Pods line. Kim Little here with that eCrit leaders jersey on, letting us know that he's here to win these as well. It's going to be a hard balance, I think, for Kim to both do this race, Quentin, as well as try and hold on to that leaders jersey actually in the eCrit.
Well, I wonder if it's going to be that hard of a challenge for him to do both these races. I mean, there's Wednesday between them, and SDR series are over, and as we know, we won that as well. So, I mean, a rider with the quality of Kim can manage to do 2 races a week. I mean, for sure. Him, it's all good training, and if he's got that yellow jersey, he can as well take what would look like one in the CVR league.
Now it looks like him, and it looks GT Grab here coming out of the Netherlands with a Vision Rider commissar there right on the wheel. 164 beats per minute. They threw down a 134 from Locks there, off the front by 9 seconds now here. Now we are seeing Whitley here from the BRT team hanging in and amongst the group as well. It does look like it's going to come back together, but will they just allow Locks to go here is the question. Kim Little heading toward the front there, 5.4 watts per kilogram, 4 laps to go. Airlocks is off the front. I'm not sure that's going to go anywhere, Quentin.
Yeah, Iron is a very light rider, and he's very strong on this kind of climbs. So it's not very surprising to see him on the front. But it might be a bit early for him to go away from the group, and he might just sit in and wait for them because he knows that alone in the descents and in the small gradients, he can't do anything against the peloton that's going to be way faster than him.
Yeah, so maybe just giving a little kick up front, trying to break things apart a little bit, but now looks like it is going to start coming back together here. So we do have a large group now at this point on the way down the other side of Watopia Hilly now. So as we do look through here, it is going to be at least, I would say 25, even 30 riders that have made this main group. Now, for those of you who might be wondering what's this all for as well, up front we gave a little bit of an introduction, but there is for the postseason we didn't get into. After this first 8 weeks of the winter season, we will head into a postseason where it's head-to-head tournament for second and third place finishers of this winter season. They're going to battle it all out for the final spot in the CVR World Cup. And so these are spots that are up for grabs for invitations to a live event. So that is what this is all about. It's not just the kudos of winning the series here virtually, but you get an invite to the actual live CVR World Cup where the first and second place will begin that invite, where there at this point is $106,000 up for grabs at the live event. So these are qualifiers for that event. So we are seeing Kristen sitting here in 13th place here. Looks like she's fallen back a little bit to maybe a chase group at this point. Moving forward, then it looks like it's going to be Holmes along with Engmo here, trying to bring it back. It looks like K Falk as well as Fedorov. You want to help me with that Polish name there? I'm not sure if I can get that one. Fedorowicz.
It's Fyodorovich.
Thank you so much, Quentin, for helping out the silly American.
Yeah, Fyodorovich for Poland, I think. If I recall right, she might be riding for Poland here.
Oh, for Team Poland, yeah, and they've been showing up in force for sure. Like all of a sudden, their whole national team is showing up or something to the world of Zwift and every one of these super high competitions. We do see K Falk here now trying to chase down Elliott, but like we said, Rachel went and is absolutely gone at this point. Now, wait a second. Rachel is on her way downhill already. So looks like K Falk here trying to make that chase, but going past the statues, it looks like Rachel's going to do her thing. She is a TT specialist in real life. For those of you just tuning in and aren't familiar with Rachel, she has some national titles in some TT type disciplines. So once she gets off the front and just gets into that groove, it's very difficult to bring Elliott back. Looks like she's going to smash these 3.5 laps off the front, get a solid training ride in, and it's going to be a race for second place at this point. But Rich here is chasing down Falk now. It looks like Beaumont there from Team Fearless now trying to work with her. It's going to be 25 seconds with Falk up by 25 is a solid gap here. She's going to have to work hard because these two are going to be motivated to bring her back into the fold, but not sure it's going to be able to happen. Is Falk really that step above Quinton? 27, 28 seconds there, has the A category. Can Beaumont as well as Fedorowicz here be able to bring her back? I'm going to actually get a first name if I can now, because I'm going to struggle the whole time. Anya.
Yeah.
Anya, out of Team Poland.
Anya. That's easier for you. I wonder if Christian can stay. And we are saying that Rachel is already gone, but on that kind of race, it's never over. And even if Rachel is really strong and she's done this over and over again, it just takes one time of maybe you're not feeling that good, or you had a rough day, and somehow you just have that moment for 3, 4, 5 minutes where you can't find your legs. And as much as strong as she is, it can always happen to Rachel, and that's why the racers behind her are always giving it 100%. That's because you never know what can happen in front, and you have to go for it, whatever happens.
This is true. This is true. We have seen situations, mechanicals, dropouts once in a while, things. So there are always opportunities, and you definitely will see these racers. They're out there to accumulate points in this series also. So every single place is going to matter in order to get the highest ranking leading into the final fourth race in this upfront series of 4 races, actually make it 8 total. So we're going to see if Beaumont here along with Anya can bring back Falk. It looks like it might be happening here as it's brought back to about 17 seconds. And Beaumont there, 3.5 watts per kilogram at the front. We're going to see if Anya and Lynn can put down the afterburners. Falk now starting to fade under 4 watts per kilogram. That initial kick maybe no longer really there to hold on to. So maybe a little bit too much motivation up front now. Now, if you do want to interact with the broadcast, you can do so. I'd love to bring in any of your questions, any of your comments. We are also live over at twitch.tv. And I am watching the chat over there as well. I would love to see some awesome clips from the day as well. If you guys want to clip any of the broadcast over there, you can do that over at twitch.tv /Zwift Community Live. Good to see all the chatters over there. Kim Little's actually chatting. He's catting over there. So for a little while, it looks like. But I have a feeling that's going to back off. He's letting us know that Grip Grab is actually P. Evers. That's good information actually to have. But Ian Greenstreet says, go Rach. Cheering Rachel Elliott out on course here. If you'd like to cheer your favorite racer, have any questions though or comments as well. Like, we love to interact with the viewers with any kind of questions or comments you might have about Zwift Racing, about CVR. We're here for that as well. So let's jump back in with the men, though, as they're about to leave the Essies. And it looks like there has been a little bit of a breakup, you know, through this first time through the Essies. I did see a few struggling. I am seeing now Jonathan Levi is out here, and this is one to be watching out for here. This might be one of the new favorites out on Zwift. Him and Kim Little. You know, if I'm going to start calling favorites already with 3 laps to go still. Kim Little's here. We've got Jonathan Levi there. Commissaires out there. Locks off the front for a little while there, but I'm calling a Levi versus Little out there perhaps. But P. Phone is out there as well from Innovation. He's also an elite cyclist out of Switzerland, riding for an elite domestic pro team, I think it is. And so watch out for Phone. If he's able to stick with throughout the duration of the race and get into the sprint, he might be able to pull something off here as well. We've also seen a lot coming from Team Poland lately. I do believe we do have Chris Wollness in here. Watch out for him. Super strong rider. Has been winning a few races out on Zwift recently. Mail from KRT, maybe trying to make a double up with KRT with Levi, as well as V Mail in the race. If I look down here, I believe there is a 3rd jersey out there as well from the KISS Racing team. I'm gonna have to double check who that is, but they've shown up in force to try and take some W's here as well. I think, Quentin, watch out for KRT.
Yeah, watch out for KRT, and Innovation is there, Experimental is there, BRT had a lot of riders as well. PTZ has a couple of riders, and we can see Convent Gate as well from TKBE. And it's going to be interesting because it's a very strong pack, and we'll see how fast they can go up the hill. But just seeing the names, we see Otterline who made the jump to the European scene, and a couple of Vision riders as well. I'm seeing Herman, who has raced today already, so he might not be that in shape right now. But we have French sprinter Mathieu Drujon, who was in the World Tour a couple of years ago. So if he can hold on in the group after the climb, he might be one to consider for the sprint.
Drujon, World Tour. A couple of years back.
Yeah, he was in the Caisse d'Epargne team.
Gotcha. So now we do have, looks like Kim Little here, 8.5 watts per kilogram, attacking on the front, not allowing this to be the type of race where people can just sit in. They pulled out that 134. I have a feeling they're going to be right around a 138, 140. Maybe a little calmer, though, this time around, as it is the second lap. There are the first lap jitters, that initial break you want to get into. If you make that first break, you can calm down a little bit. We are seeing 170 beats per minute here from Kilo. They're 425 watts right now. We'll go ahead and give that E-Crate race leader ride on right now, but we have no race leaders just yet in this series. We do have, it looks like Vang here making his way to the front here, 189 beats per minute for the KRT Kiss Racing team right now. Now, if you're unfamiliar with Zwift, there are teams out on Zwift, as you do see these jerseys representing what they are riding for. Some riders are riding unattached, but a lot of the riders, especially in these higher caliber races, definitely are teaming up with other individuals out there, joining some of the higher profile teams to try and get some advantage out there. As there is drafting in game, there's definitely back and forth tactics that people do use out there. Now Locks here with another attack here, super light rider out there, 4.7 watts per kilometer. Now Evers is trying to get away, it looks like here. Waitley now from the BRT team right along with MD. Watch out for BRT. You know, I haven't seen them on the radar. I mean, they're in all the races lately, but maybe they've been training up a little bit. You know, I've seen them dominate a lot of races out there in the fall season. Been a little quieter during the winter here, so we'll have to see if they can throw down. But it's going to be Whiteley right along with B. Clark there, both from that BRT team in that power tap kit that they do use out on course there with the orange caps. Always cool to see. And BRT, I think the MD and Clark are a threat here. Now Clark, I am unfamiliar with there. Coming out of New Zealand. Have you seen this rider race before there, Quentin?
Yeah, I've seen him race, and I see a big Z badge right next to his name, which means he is a strong rider, and he's one to be reckoned with. And the strength of BRT is that they have very good sprinters. And Whiteley, I think, if I recall right, is one of them. But the one thing about team-wise that kind of caught my eyes from the beginning of this race is that Potzeline, who raced the first races of the E-Crit with the ODZ team, is now part of the team experimental. I'm seeing that in Zwift Power. It's maybe an early transfer. And well, that's his second team in a couple of months. But I'm curious to see how he will play it out with Kim, right with him, and has his, I would assume, has his leader.
Yeah, having Podzaline along with Kim Little here, that's going to be a super threat, actually. Podzaline, super strong, I believe, road racer, actually. I'm looking up some of the results here for his race series over at roadresults.com, and I do believe Podzline's going to be one to reckon with here. He's let's see here, looking through some of these Men's Cat 3 Chandler Lakes Cycling Classic there, 10th place there. We are looking at yeah, quite a few races here throughout 2017, 24 races in real life. Green Mountain Stage Race, actually, it looks like, took place in that through September there. So he was riding for ODZ, like you were saying. Now, we are seeing he in the Giro del Cielo Crit, actually, he took a first place and a second place, actually, in the road race. Took second in the GC, actually, in that Giro del Cielo. So, riding for Scorpion Racing in real life, I believe I got this correct. So good to see him out on Zwift as well. Now joining up with Team Experimental. We'll see if they can throw down and grab win here. I'm seeing Hoppy Merida out there as well, battling out against his in real life teammate, actually. So I don't know if they're riding in the same team. At least last year they were in 2016, but him and Kim Little actually ride on the same mountain bike team, in real life elite mountain bike team for Merida Factory. But looks like Hoppy here is still in the mix now. Now, have they dropped anybody off with that climb, though, is the question. I am seeing Schwart off the back. That is an unfamiliar place to see Schwart, actually. 54 seconds off the back now at this point, so it looks like it was maybe a little bit too fast up front for the likes of Schwart now. It looks like Locks here from One Love kicking again, 8.7 watts per kilogram. Podline following that up from the Team Experimental there. Vang there from KRT covering that move right along with BRT. We're starting to see a lot of the heavy hitting teams now covering any moves that are made as they start to happen left and right out here. And a few of the teams with a few less riders out there maybe just following the moves at this point, as it is going to be Experimental, KRT. Team Poland here driving the force now at the front there. MD 2 seconds off the front, though, and it looks like Szerzynski going to try and go right along with him. 1 second gap now. MD here. I know we were saying he was a sprinter, but with 2.5 laps to go, off the front at about 4.3 watts per kilogram, 5 seconds. You think the pack is just going to let him dangle out there rather than chase him down? I'm not sure if it's a move that they're going to be too worried about there.
Yeah, I don't know if the pack is going to worry about, but I did say that BRT had a lot of sprinters, but I only quoted Whiteley at the sprinter as MD, who's Michael Durr. He's more of a TT specialist, which might explain his early move. And it might be a team move to allow Whiteley to sit in, and I actually don't see Whiteley in the names list, but that's he might just be right in the group. But it's so hard to get away from the peloton when you're.
I did just see
alone,
Whiteley just a second ago. He is still in there. I did just see him a second ago. He's right. Yeah, he's right here. There he is. So BRT now 6 some watts per kilogram for a second there. So moving around a lot, though. There's still plenty of riders in amongst this group here, about 17, 18 riders. So we'll try and keep track of all of them best we can. But it definitely do have 2 BRT riders there still in there. MD maybe just kicked him a little bit. Excuse me, guys, as they are making their way into the Essies here for the second time. I do see a lot of chat coming through here. It looks like Carl Teselius, a rider that we've seen out on Zwift a lot lately, says he's out on ski vacation this week, but I'm back on the saddle in front of Zwift, the next one. Really excited to follow the first CVR live. Good to see you there, Carl. Good to have you at the broadcast for sure. And we're excited to have you back as soon as you get back from the skiing there. And hopefully a little bit of biking there too to get ready for the absolute demolishment that these riders are putting out at the front end of this race now as they make their way through the Essies. Now Podsline and Little now making their way through here, and it looks like Pettinger also going along with them now in that bikes and beer kit now from MTCT, it looks like. And then it is going to be a 2 second gap now. Now this is a threat. Team Experimental at any time off the front is definitely going to be a threat here. And Whiteley, now seeing that, makes his way to the front and starts pulling it back into the fold now. So it doesn't look like it's going to go anywhere just yet, as we are seeing them through the trees now. Evers now closing it right down there. Vang there from KRT. KRT, it looks like playing it smart, letting everybody else kind of throw their efforts off the front here. And I have a feeling we might be seeing some late attacks here from KISS Racing Team, Quentin, if they're a little quieter in the race now. I think Jonathan Levi, definitely one to be watching out for those late attacks. He can climb like crazy. He's got a good sprint. He actually, I think, had a little bit of motivation after I called him a climber rather than a sprinter, and took, I believe it was the last race of the preseason last week, I think it was, to show me that he could throw down that sprint. It was a solid effort there coming from him. So watch out for him in that sprint here. But KRT very quiet at the front, just letting everybody else burn matches, I think, here right now, Quentin.
Yeah, they are letting people burn the matches, because the last climb of the 4 is going to be the hardest one and the fastest one. And we did see very fast times for the first two climbs, but it's going to be interesting to see how people take the third one, whether if they are waiting for the last one and just sitting in, taking it kind of easy. I'm just saying kind of, because 300 watts or 400 watts is never easy. It's just less hard, let's say like that. But the last one might be where the fireworks happen.
Yeah, I think you might be right there. They might be sitting in a little bit on this next one. We'll have to see, though. I mean, if somebody, here's the thing. If there is a TT specialist that believe they can get away. Now, I'm not sure I'm seeing anybody with that kind of talent, though, in and amongst this group right now. It'd have to be a Cartwright. It would have to be a Bibby. It would have to be somebody to get away from this kind of a pack out on Zwift. We would have to see some serious fireworks and some teamwork, I would think so, too. I think there'd have to be enough team members in and amongst the group to try and make that happen. Maybe Zhujiang out there, but again, he doesn't have enough firepower from the team there to chase things down. And it's very risky to try and get away without that team like that and the support out there on course here. Now I am back in with the women now. Rachel Elliott still off the front here. She's got a solid 4 minutes already. And now it looks like Anya right along with Beaumont there was able to catch Falk actually. So that 25 seconds got eliminated actually by the effort here from Lynn and Anya here. So Falk's going to have probably a little bit of a rest though, I would think. Try and sit in a little bit for a while here, being off the front for a while. With 2 laps to go here in a moment, it's going to be a battle at the end. Now, still within sights though, only a minute 18 or so. So Asperheim here, right along with Landier. It's going to be Kirsty Hole there as well. You know, Carissa Min here, 34 seconds back from those riders here with this chase group in 14th place. Now Abbott's there as well as Muldoon. And moving forward will be S. Smith here, trying to chase down Holmes and Kirsty now. Ingmo there as well as Asperheim. Falk now with the on the back of this group. So that is this current situation. Rachel Elliott on the front there, K. Falk, Beaumont, and then it looks like Anya in that chase group. Then it will be Elvire running along with Ingmo, Kirsty Holt. It will be Asperheim as well as Holmes in this third chase group out on course then. And then there's one more chase group behind there with Smith, well, solo S. Smith there. And then it is going to be Abbott along with, I believe, Carissa Min sitting around that 10th to 15th place. They're trying to chase down that solo rider. S. Smith's going to have a lot on her plate here to hold off Muldoon as well as Carissa Min and the rest here. I mean, there's 3 chasers. A little bit to talk about there for sure. With the draft out on Zwift, always difficult to hold off a pack actually, just like in real life there, Quentin. I think, you know, if you're solo, you've got to throw down half a watt or even a full watt per kilogram more than the riders who are trying to bring you back.
Exactly, and not only that, but the only fact that you have people with you alongside you who are riding at the same pace, at the same place, at the same time as you, it helps you go further. It helps you go faster. And when you're alone, you don't have that, and that's another advantage of being in the group. Whether it's on the road or on Zwift, the effect is the same.
Yeah, that's true. That's right. And so with the effort being the same as, well, somewhat same as in real life here. 48 seconds though. Smith here going off the front. I'm not sure they're going to be able to bring her back. They might not have the ability to bring her back here. 2.9 watts per kilogram here. They are sharing the load a little bit at the front here. 26 miles per hour to make their way through the Italian village. 24 here coming from Smith, but they're going to have to really work together to throw down 3 to 4 watts per kilogram on the front here if they want to bring that one spot back. But one spot, and you could lose 2 to 3 here if you put in too much work up front actually on this section. So, or with these other 2, and then end up losing to those that you're with here. And they do see that it looks like Motor Rabbit from PTZ as well as I Red here from Team Fearless trying to come back to the group there actually. If they do so, they will get a little bit of a boost in the power that they do have in this group here. Maybe we'll bring back Smith at that point. But Smith, it looks like, is on a mission to chase down Veer as well as Kirsty. And it looks like Asperheim and Holmes here all making their way through the SEs now. This is the third chase group out on course now. And it looks like Falcon and Beaumont do have that solid minute 25, but it's going to be 2 laps to go in just a moment here. Now, the men here are making their way up and over the top of, it looks like, the climb now at this point, and nothing's breaking apart just yet, as they are just about, oh, actually, they did actually just just crest up over the top here, and nobody's really broken off just yet. Hopping Marita, excuse me. Hopping Marita is the first one to bite the dust into these final few miles here, actually. So Hopping Marita now no longer in amongst this group now. And then we do have Jay Herman here now making his way to the front here, 166 beats per minute. Annabelle now following that up. So it's going to be Herman. Actually, I didn't even realize he was in the race here. And watch out for him, as him and Drujan now, maybe some motivation, try and make things happen here for Vision now. But KRT still toward the front, controlling things. 3 KRT riders now. Kiss Racing Team with Jonathan Levi right along with Vang, and then it will be who is the other rider out there? There is one others that I have been missing this entire time from KRT that keeps popping into the sites there. See if we can find them over on SwiftPower.com. But Vang and Levi for sure. At the back now, we are seeing Kim Little here sitting in a little bit. 139 beats per minute. Not working too hard on this downhill here. I think still waiting for the next major attacks to happen. Or sitting a little bit, seeing what KRT is up to. Allowing everybody else without the teams out there to kind of waste a little bit of energy, I think, at this point.
Yeah, and after those Christmas and New Year party, the downhill might be a bit easier for Kim as well.
After Christmas and New Year's Eve party, exactly. So looking through here, it looks like maybe a couple too many scones for Mr. Kim Little. We'll see if he can hold on to the pack out there, according to according to Quentin LaFay. So Morton Vang. And then it is also Video Meal. So that is who is out there. That's why I was missing the two. Both coming out of Norway, it looks like here. So Jonathan Levi there right along with Morton and Vidar. They're going to be battling it out for that top spot out there. So looking through, though, it looks like Kim still steady, 127 beats per minute. I'm not sure he's working too hard at this point, and I have a feeling we're going to be watching out for him, as we do have pods lined up toward the front of this race. Now, Sherrod is out there as well. He was actually a leader in the preseason for a while. He did miss the last race of the season, but that was because of a congratulations, I believe, in order, as a new family member came into the world over the holiday season, actually. So congratulations to him and his family out there. Good to see Sherrod back out on course. Be watching out for him in the sprint, as he's always one to have a solid sprint out on Zwift. So I definitely be watching out to see if he can throw down, and we'll see if he's been getting any sleep as well, though. Maybe have to take on the Gara hours. You know, the way that when we first had Kyle and I was training like crazy, I would always be the nighttime feeder, and I would jump on my bike at like 9-10 p.m. and put Kyle down, and then ride until the first feeding at night, feed him, and then jump back on my bike for another hour or two. And I always had the baby monitor right next to the trainer. I'd love to know how many baby monitors are out there. Actually, that should be a statistic that we should take as a poll. How many guys and gals ride or race with baby monitors next to their bike? And then I'd like to see the percentage of guys and gals that do it too. Like, how many of the guys have baby monitors, and how many of the women out there have baby monitors sitting next to. I have a feeling, for some reason, I get the feeling it might be more men with baby monitors for some reason next to the trainers there. But we'll have to wait and see. So if we can get a statistic on that, we should do a poll somehow with that. That'd be great, Quentin.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool. Well, I know where my answer would be, but yeah, you know, it's it's really interesting, because it gives a little bit of rhythm to the training, I guess, and well, it might impact Sherrod's sprint in the end as well. So definitely interesting to follow that and see if he still got the kick after. Look what looks like a busy holiday season.
Yeah, I actually forced me to get more organized, but that was just me and what I needed to get super organized at that point. Then once number 4 and 5 came along, though, it was all organization went out the window and you just rode whenever you could. But Ving and Mail is on the same outdoor team. If you didn't know, I did not know that, Benjamin. Thanks a lot, Benjamin, for letting us know. Loved to you. Have more information on that, actually. Christian Sale is actually letting us know at Z Community Live. Yes to the baby monitor next to me on the trainer at 4 a.m. I absolutely love it. And that's what it's all about right there. And that's some of the beauty of racing and riding out on Zwift in these group rides and these races out here. Is that we can get all of that amazing training in, get in great shape, all from the comfort of the home. Now, Christian, thanks for the comment there. Let me know if you've got a baby monitor next to your Zwift setup. We've seen Go Team Chalk there. We've got a couple other comments coming through. Simon Oxham saying that this course is all about the forward KOM. Anything else won't stick. And I think he might be right there. You can open up enough of a gap on that forward KOM to get away for sure. And so heading into the final lap here, we're going to have to see what kind of pace they do set up over the top of that forward KOM. And it's going to be the last time to try and make something happen. We are seeing the KRT team make their way to the front now, and they've been sitting in for a while, covering all the attacks, but I have a feeling this is going to be where all their chips are going to go into the final here. Now, the question is, will they be able to break things apart, whittle things down? You know, the hopes, I mean, Quentin, in this kind of situation, is it just hopes to whittle things down? Or are you really looking to get away? Because, I mean, the kind of powers in here, Kim is going to be able to follow, I would think. Pod's line as well. You know, we've got Annabelle from Innovation in there. We've got KRT. You know, there's some big names as well as the BRT team there. Herman as well from Vision. I think it's just a whittling down that they're going to be looking for out here going into this final lap now.
Well, it depends on the kind of rider you are. If you are like Kim or like Mel or maybe Levi, if he's that much of a sprinter, like he showed last week, and someone like Chris Vanos as well, who won some sprints on Zwift, you want to whittle the group down, but still keep some energy in your legs. But if you are someone who has maybe a little bit less of a kick, you just want to get away and to make the group totally explode in that last climb and make it like groups of 3-4 riders, something you can compete with. And it's only 8-9 kilometers to the finish with a large portion of downhill. So 1 against 4 is still manageable if you are a really strong TT specialist. So it's going to depend on what kind of riders we have and what kind of energy they got left after those first 3 climbs.
11:54. Absolutely flying. And can we go left? Saying the grip grab is saying, can we go left from Make BRT? Please, Pod's line saying, can we go left? Nobody wants to go straight up and over the top. Here it comes, though. It is unavoidable at this point. They got to go straight. Real quick, before they do head on up over the top here, we do have a change up in the women's race a little bit here. I think we lost Beaumont out there, unless I'm having some sort of a rider disappearance issue here. It does look like Anya now has gotten away from Falk, but a few of my riders are disappearing a little bit here and there in this instance of Zwift for me. But it does look like Anya was able to break away from K Falk up and over the top of their 3rd time, over the top of the Watopia forward here. But now looking back at the men's race here, as we do see, it looks like some attacks are about to take place. Making the way to the front, it is going to be Kim Little. Right along with Commissary is there as well. Commissary, Little going to the front now. 9.8 watts per kilogram, 12 watts per kilogram coming from Commissary now. The attacks are right from the get-go. They're using every little bit of this climb to try and cause as much of a break as they possibly can. That's the way you have to do it here. It looks like Grip Grab able to hold on to the wheel there. Van going right along with them now. It looks like it's going to be Chris Wanos as well. KRT able to follow. It's got 2 riders here in and amongst this lead group now at this point, but it's not a group yet. It's still breaking apart now. Everyone just trying to hold the wheel that's right in front of them, but Grip Grab continues to go right along with Little here. 7.4 watts per kilogram coming from Kim Little with that leader's jersey on. 430 watts now, 5.8 watts per kilogram now, and it looks looks like. Off the back, a few riders unable to hang on to the pace. It's going to be Whiteley from BRT having to go now. Clark is right along with him from New Zealand here. Is he going to be able to hold on to the wheel of Whiteley? His teammate work together to get over the top here. Kamas here fading backwards. Drujan as well. Herman trying to hang on. 177 beats per minute now as Little continues to demolish this climb. At the front, though, it is going to be Evers now. 6.8 watts per kilogram now. Vang now. Whiteley. Herman. Where did Kim Little go? There he is, hanging onto the wheel of the KRT rider now. But it is 2 seconds up to Evers. Does Evers have a Zada approval? I believe there was some controversy in the past with him.
And he's got an auto DQ on Zwift Power, so we can eliminate him from the results right now.
Understood. So they are going to allow him to go if they do not need to chase him out there, actually. So looking through here, Kim Little there on the front now, trying to maybe turn the screws a little bit more to allow this to whittle down more. Down to a 138, 137 from Jonathan Levi there. KRT demolishing this KOM, but the KOM isn't going to matter. It's going to matter where you are in the pack at this point now. As we look from Kim's perspective here comes Herman coming right along with him, but it's going to be Boston as well out of Denmark, actually. Where did this rider come from? Out of nowhere. And it looks like maybe Evers right back into it here, but not going to be a part of the race, as we do get that information from our correspondent, Mr. Quentin Lefay, with the info on the DQs there. Van Mail now back up to the front. It looks like all back together. Team Poland on the back there. BRT now with a little bit of a kick on the front here, not letting anybody slow down. BRT maybe looking for one of those just slow fades off the front, saying nobody wants to go at this point. Just slowly get away. Doesn't look that's going to happen, though, as Vang closes that right on down. And it's all back together, Quentin. And they weren't really able to drop off too much talent. MD, though. MD off the back. So it looks like it's going to be up to Whiteley only in order to throw this down for the BRT team. Locks is off the back as well. Jerk says so. They weren't able to get rid of 3 or 4 riders, actually, on that climb.
Yeah, they got rid of some very strong riders, but I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see how the sprint will play out, because we are going to see either someone go before the Italian village and holding on to some kind of gap, or it's gonna be a full-on sprint in the last descent towards the finish line. And we have some very strong sprinter as well as some very strong TT specialist. And as of right now, we can't say anything about who's going to win. Like, we have guys like Clark or Potzeline or...
Did you see Herman? Did you see Herman there on the front,
yeah,
Quentin?
or Herman as
But
well.
as soon as he went to the front, so he attacked. He attacked with Whiteley, and as soon as he got in the front, he started throwing the elbow. Come on! Come on through. Somebody take a pull. Yeah. The elbow was right there. Oh, man, I wish I would have gotten the replay on that one. That was so perfect. He's off the front. They got 1 second. He's like, come on, do some work here. But there's a pack of hungry wolves behind him there. Absolutely demolished. Sorry for interrupting, but that was one of the best spots I've seen with Herman giving the little elbow off the front there.
Well, you gotta give the elbow in the last lap if the guy with you doesn't want to pass to take his turn. You have to throw the elbow and do whatever you need to make him work.
Yeah, for sure. Now I am seeing from Benjamin Bornson. He's saying that the 2 Norwegian riders here, actually, it's going to be male as well as, let's see here, real quickly, make sure I get all of the names out here correct, but Vidar as well as Morton, they both ride for Swix Hardcorks, actually, which is a professional MTB team, actually, Norway only. They win every MTB race in Norway. So according to Benjamin, except for the ones that Torgsberg Hansen wins, I think. Perhaps.
Well, I think they are not the same ones.
They're not the same ones.
I mean,
Yeah.
It's not the same discipline.
But absolutely, thank you so much for the information there. So a couple of top pro MTB racers out here looking for a sprint actually up against some of the top material here. Looking now again, you guys, there's been a lot of attacks here and there, but they've also been playing it fairly safe. And the reason why a lot of these top tier riders here are not taking too much of a risk, I think, is because there's so much on the line here. This is for an invite in the series for $106,000 so far in the prize pool. So CVR World Cup first race, points are on the line right now. Who are going to get them? It's going to come down to a sprint right here, right now for the first race in the winter series. We've got Kim Little on the front here, 141 beats per minute. Let's start looking at some of these heart rates. Jonathan Levi here, 163, maybe a little higher there, 156 there from Whiteley. There are no power-ups allowed in this, so it's going to be raw power and tactics out here today, Quentin. Do you got a prediction? Who's looking strong at this point? Who's going to take the W out here from your prediction? What do you got? You got a wild card out there or a common sprinter, Quentin?
Well, it's going to be difficult, and it's definitely a very close one. But if I had to say, I would go either for Little, for Kim, or I think I see Mathieu Drujon still in there. So it might be one to watch for too. In that kind of sprint, is an absolute beast.
Yeah, I think Drujon's someone to watch out for. I saw him sprinting as well in some of those live events, and he definitely looks like he's got a kick for sure. KRT has been playing it very, very intelligent today as well, though, so I'll be watching out for them. There's a kick actually off the front coming from KRT, and this is what they need to do. They need to loosen up the legs. Really, they've got the firepower, they've got the team in there to take energy out of the other riders going into the sprint. Make sure that there's nothing left there. Allow Mail there as well as Levi to make the chase on the wheels of the other riders here sit in a little bit. And if they let Vane go, it's all said and done. 10 watts per kilogram through the SCs. Will we have somebody actually win from this far out? We haven't seen this happen for, I think, months actually at this point. On this course, nobody's been able to get away from this far out. 10 watts per kilogram wasn't enough. It looks like it was closed down by Herman there. Vision on that wheel, looks like here. Grip gap as well in there, but he's got the DQ as ready. He's out, not a part of the race. Whiteley going from the BRT. Where's Team Experimental? Podzaline, Kim Little, they're off the back by 1 second, but now they're trying to make that chase. Podzaline make his way to the front now, right along with Kim Little, following the wheels. Whiteley on the front there, but he's got no teammates to work with. KRT has done what they needed to, it looks like here, and hasn't dropped off Levi, haven't dropped off, it looks like Morton either. So it's going to be, I think, KRT in a really good spot right now as Team Experimental was forced to make that chase, bring those heart rates up. Podzaline up in that 172. Where's Kim Little sitting at 166 here? Mail there did not go. I don't believe. Vang now going at 188 still. And I think it's going to be a setup here for Levi and Mail as well. And there as they make their way to the front now, and solid effort all around from these riders at this point. And coming into the finish line, I'm going to say KRT for the win here. I'm calling Jonathan Levi because I think he's got the perfect setup. I think V-Mail's going to lead him out to the finish line. That's my prediction. Not sure it's going to happen, though. Zhujan's been sitting in as well, though. Watch out for him if he's still in amongst the pack here. As they're coming into the final K, Quentin, this is going to all heat up for these final points. So much on the line, Quentin. Super exciting here as they make their way here as they make it through the bottom of this underground now. We'll see if we can get our live replay set up as well. Don't want to miss any of the action to the finish line. And get the right camera angles setting up now. We do got Vang now. 5.9 watts per minute. Here goes Jonathan Levi actually kicking very early. Making his way to the front, though, it looks like. Nothing just yet. And who's going to go first? Kim Little's the first one to go. Kim Little up into 15 watts per kilogram. He might have this right now as he went so early, but there's riders with the draft at this point. Here comes Evers, but Evers is not going to be able to take the actual W. Here it comes. Actually, it is going to be Mail to the line, I believe. No, yes, it is going to be Mail. Herman, right to the line. It was Mail. KRT with the W. I got it wrong, but it was the KRT rider. Herman just nipped at the line. Little went so early. So early. What an effort there, but so early from Kim Little there, Quentin.
Yeah, it was a very early sprint, and I don't know how he managed that. Maybe he was planning on doing some kind of surprise effect, but in that kind of race, I don't know if surprise works very well because everyone is very aware of and very attentive to what's going on. But it was very early, and well, Mel is a very good sprinter as well, and
Mm-hmm.
well, the results are very well. They were not expected, but everyone is kind of at the place they were expected. And we see Chris Vonos, who won a couple of races as well, in third place. So very good sprint, and yeah, very intense effort at the finish line from Kim, but also from Mel and Herman.
Yeah, so let's take another look at it here real quick. They started ramping it up very early from Kim Little there. Off the front, super early sprint attack there coming from him. Now, I'm not sure if that was the best move. Let's go ahead and bring it back here words just a little bit here. I mean, he went with 300 at least 300 to go here. Let's look real quick here. So 300 to go, way out, up in that 15 watts per kilogram. Then we've got Grip Grab coming on, but he's already got a DQ on the name, so it's not going to matter coming from him. But Herman then counters through here. Mail right on his wheel, though. That might be what won it there. With that kick coming from him, we can see 15 watts per kilogram, 15 watts per kilogram. Him and Herman matched, but Mail was right on the wheel of Herman. Fading backwards, Kim Little no longer able to hold on to the huge kick into that 15 watts per kilogram. And the reason why he came around like this, it looks like, is because he sat on the wheel of the right wheel there. He sat on Herman's wheel, and as soon as Herman went 15 watts per kilogram, he sat in until the final 100, continued right on through, little bit extra kick, just barely was able to nip him at the line there. Then it looks like it was going to be Criswanos, followed up by Levi there, and then Pod's line. For fifth, Kim Little fading back just in front of Sherrod, I think. Sherrod might have nipped him there with 7.7 watts per kilogram. We have to wait for the official results as they come through there. But what an amazing race there from all of the riders there. Great effort there from KRT, setting up their two strongest sprinters there at the end, able to get them to the line in first place there, it looks like, as well as, I do believe, a fourth or fifth there for Jonathan Levi. So solid effort all around.
Yeah, it was very interesting, and when you see the kind of powers that guys put out in the sprint, we saw Kim going into the 1,000 when he launched in sprint, and we saw Herman stay in the 1200 right to the finish line, and that's pretty impressive. I would be very curious to see what Mel's number look like, but it's all very impressive for sprint finish.
Yeah, huge numbers coming through. 15 watts per kilogram kicked for a little while there. Marcin Criswanos, though, you were saying, did take third. So Vidar Mail there with that Zada approval badge on him. Johannes Hermes there as well, second place. It looks like Marcin Criswanos there sitting in third. Pascal Evers was fourth, but did end up with that DQ there. Does need to get a Zada approval still. Jonathan Levi there for, it looks like, fourth place then. Michael Podsline coming in for fifth. Kim Little for sixth. Andy Sherritt there sitting in seventh place there. Espen Commissar Fossheim there sitting in eighth, it looks like, with Phil Whiteley. And then Bertus Turksma rounding out the top 10. Solid efforts all around. Now, is Rachel Elliott across the line already is the question. I do believe she may have finished up. I did want to get, she's just too fast for me to keep up even. I can't even keep up with Rachel. She's just flying out there. Yep, she is across the line already with a 51.26. 5.2 watts per kilogram, 305 watts for the duration of the race. Rachel Elliott, just a monster out there, demolishing this course. And it looks like Anya here, 136 up from Falk. Falk's got 122, though, over Veer. So it looks like it's going to be a top three TT to the finish line. The real sprint that we'll be looking for will be Veer, Asperheim, Engmo, Holmes. And it looks like Kirsty Hirhol, they're all together now. Chris Amin with Muldoon, it looks like, as well, 425 back, sitting just outside the top 10 still. So definitely be watching out for the sprint between these girls now as Falco 3.6 watts per kilogram here solo for third place. Anya now it looks like 3.8 now off the front, walking away. Team Poland always able, it looks like, to get solid results on the podium recently, Quentin.
Yeah, there's a couple of interesting thing happening here. Like, I'm trying to look through the list, and I can't find Beaumont anywhere. So I wonder what happened to her. That's the first point. The second point is that we have to remember that the CVR World Cup League is divided into 4 brackets, and Fyodorovic here is by the looks of things in the B bracket. So it will be Kristin Falk that will take second place in the A category that qualifies you for the live event, and she will most likely be the one to go to the playoff kind of thing in the postseason. And I'm not sure B bracket can be in the postseason as well. So Fyodorovic might just be going for the win in the B category and looking for the upgrade into the next season, as it will be spring season.
So, wait a second. I didn't follow that, Quentin. Are you saying she already raced this morning? She's getting extra points as much as she possibly can? Is that what you're getting at there?
No. I'm saying that she is in the B bracket.
Okay.
And only the riders in the A bracket are qualified to the live event.
I see. Gotcha. So she's looking for the upgrade to the live event there. So, upgrade to be able to be possible. I thought so. I get zones and brackets mixed up a little bit here and there.
Yeah.
So I thought you were saying that she raced in the B this morning already in order to upgrade for more points.
No.
Then which wouldn't be the worst idea though, to race multiple times, as it does get you your rankings up. It does work a lot like real life rankings. The more you race and the better results you do get, the easier it is for you to rank up and get a higher category license for racing. So, looking through a lot of comments coming through here. Go ahead, Quentin.
In here, I'm not sure that's true because the way the upgrade work in the CVR World Cup League is that the first 2% of the B cat go to A, and the bottom 2% of A go to B, and that goes the same with C and D brackets. So you can race as much as you want. It's going to be about the last 2% and the first 2% that are going to go up and down. And so racing in the other brackets won't get you points and won't get you in any other bracket.
So, help me understand that. So even if I race more and compete well against good fields and gain points, it's not going to get me an upgrade, you're saying?
You don't get points.
You don't get any points?
Yeah, you get points in the zone that you're registered in. You are registered in a zone and in a bracket.
Yeah. That's for CVR World Cup, though. And so these riders need to compete in these brackets to get upgrades, though? I thought that these were rankings based on the Cyclogent rankings, or am I incorrect about that?
If I understood right, the CVR rankings were used to give the initial bracket for the riders, and from now on, it's only about the results in the CVR World Cup League that are going to affect upgrades and downgrades. But then again, I might have misread the rule. You know how comfortable I'm not with English, but it's from what I understood is now only the CVR World Cup League races count toward its up and downs, and so you only score points in the zone and bracket that you are affiliated with, and that might be it.
This community that CVR rankings seed new league riders. Got it. CS Tricks let us know that the CVR rankings
Yeah.
are the seeding for the new league riders. Got it. All right, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Very helpful. So it looks like Anya here going to be taking that second place. Rachel Elliott absolutely walked away with this one as she usually does. 177 beats per minute though here coming from Anya. Solid result for her. Okay, Falk here now, it looks like 3.6 watts per kilogram, 152 back. Trying to hold off a hard chasing Elvire. Looks like that's going to happen though with 41 seconds here to the difference between the riders there. Lynn Beaumont though, she was amongst Falk and Fedora Anya here, but suddenly disappearing from the race. I wonder what happened. Some sort of a mechanical or something there coming from
I would guess
from
so.
Lynn.
I can't find her on Zwift Power as well, so I wonder what happened. I looked through the list. Oh, she disappeared around the 20th kilometer, so after second lap, I guess. She's not registered after that. She disappeared around the halfway through the race.
Maybe some sort of a dropout, internet perhaps, or something. That looks like a
Yeah.
full-on internet dropout perhaps. CS Trick saying,
I think so.
at Zwift Community Live, after you have raced in a league, you go up and down based on how you finished in the previous league. A group lost lots of folks due to connection issues. Mike Schwartz, thanks a lot for letting us know, Mike. Appreciate the comment there. And apologies that happened. And now we do have Veer here. Is that an actual TT bike? I don't think TT bikes are allowed in the CVR races, are they?
I don't know if they are allowed, but it's not the first time that we wonder it. I remember last time, I think it was 2 weeks ago, she already came third, and it was already on a TT bike. But I don't know if that just that she was training, and when we logged, she was on the TT bike and she switched, like she had a late bike switching.
Yeah, you had a late bike
something, but
switch. Yeah.
I don't think she was on a TT bike all race long.
Oh, we have a sprint heating up here. We've got, it looks like Kirsty here making her way to the line, but it's going to be Landier, maybe. Landier to the line there. Yeah, it will be Landier, followed up by Kirsty, I believe. Let's see if we can get a quick little replay on that, as I do believe it was Kirsty was able to take that right to the line here. Not sure if I was able to grab that. It looks like Veer here coming up to the line, super slow motion on that TT bike there, but now it looks like Kirsty with the kick early on, 7.4 watts per kilogram. Anglo there, but it was Landier with that kick absolutely demolishing, 11 watts per kilogram actually. That's a killer effort there to the line there. Now fading to 9, but it was enough to get around there. Now the question was Holmes able to nip Kirsty at the line there. I tried switching views there real quickly at the end, so we might just miss the line, but we'll be able to see them in the riders nearby list there. But Landier with that kick at the end, they're able to kick in the 11 watts per kilogram, takes it down, hold just ahead of Holmes, followed up by Ingmo from the PTZ team that will be Asperheim. So solid result there for all of the women. Now there is going to be one rider that we definitely want to try and catch her sprint as they make their way to the line, and that is going to be Carissa Min and her group. We were getting a little bit, good to see, we were getting a little bit of chat out there about Gemma as she was out on course. Everybody was saying go Gemma in the Zwift Community Live chat out there. So we are a part of the wolf pack suddenly, so we might be stuck, you guys. We might be stuck, and there might be nothing I can do. Well, I can do this, and nope, it's not even gonna let me out. Let's see if that'll work. Nope, we're in the wolf pack no matter what, boys and girls. Turn around or not, we are in the wolf pack ride. Well, there's no escaping the wolf pack, everybody. Oh man. And we're getting some sprinting going on here in the wolf pack.
Once the wolves catch you, you're once the wolves catch you, you ain't getting anywhere.
You're not getting anywhere once the wolves catch you. Oh man, the wolves, let us go. Oh, I'm being hunted by wolves at this point. Come on now, where can I get out of this event, please? They're doing a sprint. That wasn't their last lap either. So I'm not escaping the wolf pack. I can't find Min. We don't get any calm down, Carissa, on screen. Makes it so frustrating. Okay, so I think that's going to be it for today, though, on the results. Let's take a quick look at the results here. As first one in the CVR World Cup here, looking through the women's race real quick here. Let's see how things ended up. Rachel Elliott across the line, first place, 6 minutes up. Demolished it here. Anya was out there as well. Fedorovich, I want to say. Say it for me, Quentin. You got it, man. Come on now. You got the pronunciation.
Anya Fedorovich.
Fedorovich. There we go. Fedorovich.
Yeah.
Fedorovich. I got to practice that one.
Yeah,
All right. Kristen Falk there for third place. Followed up by Louisa Veer. Then will be Landier Audrey. And then Sylvie Holmes, Kirsty Hoyle, Steve Engmo, Hild Asperman. Cheryl Muldoon, followed up by Joanna Abbott and Carissa Min, are still battling it out. They're probably just about to cross the line actually right now. And I might be able to grab that sprint quickly here if I can see if I can get back enough. But man, we've got so many people out on course right now. It's going to be a difficult day actually to find anybody amongst this. I mean, look at how many people are out on course here. I mean, look at it. This is just insanity. There's just, I mean, like, how are we going to find anything out here? How many do we have out on course? That's the question I'm seeing. I'm going to go and see if I can actually leave this event. And it's 4,385 riders currently out on course. So huge amount of riders actually. And we're not going to be able to find the sprint for the admin at this point. And CS Trick saying, watch your mode, please, Zwift HQ. I'm with you there. Gemma and Gray ladies, our team X SOs. All right, sounds good. Oh, significant others. Thanks, Gemma and Gray ladies. Got it. Appreciate that, significant others. No worries, that's life. Mike Schwartz. Sorry that happened, but I know that you might have had a couple of technical difficulties out there. I'm going to take a quick look over at the chat here to see if we've got anybody bringing in any questions or comments over at Zwift Community Live Facebook. Don't see anything just as of yet. So for the results here, you know, I was expecting Kim Little to take the W maybe out there today, but, you know, Vidar, at the beginning of the race, you know, I wasn't expecting Mail actually to take the W out there. So solid effort out there. And they played it really smart, I think. Quentin, I think that might have had a lot to do with it actually, was that they reserved. And, you know, 4.3 watts per kilogram coming from Vidar for the duration. Looking through for some of the other averages here. That's first place. Second place, 4.6. Marson, they're 4.2. Podsline 4.5, Kim Little 4.5. A little extra effort, I think, from them at some times maybe where they could have reserved a little bit more. Five-time there for up in that 4.6. So definitely a smart race by KRT.
Yeah, very smart race, and well, it was definitely going to be who can outsprint the others at the finish line after the 4 climbs. So first thing was to get over the hill with the front group, and then it was all about timing in that last sprint. It's a very fast sprint coming after a descent, and it was going about timing. And yeah, Kim was a bit early, and Mel took the right wheel. But we had also Evers messing things up, grabbing the draft and bringing back people over and over again, and
so okay,
well, that messed things up a little bit.
Evers' situation, I mean, this has been going on since I remember Richmond races, when Richmond first was happening, yeah. I think, right? And he had a Pro Tour name on. What was it? What was his first? What was the first?
He's had so many names and so many weight changes. It went through literally from 90 kilograms to 35 and back to 60 and up to 70 and back to 55. And he's had as many weights as names. I think I recall calling like Buhani or something.
No, he
in a
had a
couple of
giant
races,
Alpecin
and
on at one time too, like a kit.
yeah,
And then the name from I can't remember which Alpecin rider it was, but he had the name on too. And
I can't remember. And it's just been a massive troll for as long as I can remember, and that's too bad that it comes into a league where there's real stuff at stake, and it's a it's too bad for the rider that they have to deal with that kind of troll in that kind of event. But
it'd be nice to have
well, as far
event
as things
controls,
go,
right, Quentin? Like that.
yeah, yeah.
So Zwift HQ
exactly, like,
have made it super clear that they're not going to ban riders, right? And they shouldn't. I'm with that 100%. But to give community organizers of their events the ability to manage their events with some more tools, and then allow the best events to rise to the top, and the best management to rise to the top, I think would be really good. And we're seeing that coming from David Williams right now as well. Hoogerland. Thanks, Mike Schwartz. Mike let us know. He was riding under Hoogerland for a while. I remember commentating on the race the first time he jumped into that name, and I was like, Hoogerland! Oh, and then I figured out it wasn't him. Oh, man. Going up, they were going up the cobbles, actually, over on Richmond. That was, we probably have some old school footage of that, actually. So looking through for some more comments and questions as we end out here. Steve says, well, there's a lot coming through here. That was brutal, Chris Harrison says. Chris Harrison, thanks for jumping in with us. Let's get a little bit of social media interaction going on here as we finish out the race. You can see Nathan's lonely avatar hanging out in the pens there as we look through the social media integration. So we do see some comments coming through. Chris Harrison, good to see you. Says that was brutal. Espen comments from Fast Time says Vidar is heavier, so that's why 4.2 watts per kilogram. Gotcha, Fast Time. Understood. What level do I need to get a Team Novo Nordisk JDRF jersey on Goes With? Oh, so that's a great question. That one's probably just an unlockable, and you have to talk to the owners of the jersey. What was with all the jerseys tonight? Is this a regular ride? As Z Community Live had some climbing kilometers to do, otherwise would have stuck with the bunch. Steve, thanks a lot for jumping in there. And so the Team Type 1 jersey, I believe, is not an earned jersey, Steve. It's actually an unlocked jersey. You need to just approach the JDRF team out there, Team Type 1, and they'll be able to hook you up with the code for that. And I'm assuming that they do allow it for just general promotion, but you'd have to ask the team organizer for that. And let's see here. What else was that? Oh, all the jerseys. So that's normal, Steve. There's tons of jerseys in the game. Nathan, the difference in watts per kilogram is due to heavy versus light riders not saving up for not always, fast time. And also I would have to say that regardless of weight differences, 4.0 to 5.0 is if someone's heavier, they just have to work harder. Like, that's just a reality. If someone's lighter, they have to work less wattage, pure wattage, and watts per kilogram is always going to show more or less effort put out, depending on how much you weigh. So I wouldn't necessarily, I completely, I mean, I've coached for 13 years, ridden, I mean, not to my own horn or anything, been a professional rider for going on, I don't know, 10 years. So I would have to say that watts per kilogram show very clearly, depending on how much you weigh, how much effort you put out throughout the duration of the race, for sure out there. Now, there will be some discrepancies there, and it's not just all about watts per kilogram, but if you put out 4.0 watts per kilogram, somebody put out 3.5 watts per kilogram, depending on their weight, you definitely used up more energy according to your power to weight ratio. So Bruno confirmed, about to lay on the floor for a while, Racing Mike says. So good to see you, Racing Mike, over at the broadcast over there. So, all right, Quentin, I think that's it for the comments and questions coming through here. Christian Sale, one more coming through here. With a win by 6 minutes in the women's race, do you think that women should start in mass with the men? Christian, Rachel Elliott's just top tier, Christian. Like top. Like she, if had an invite to the first women's Zwift Academy and would have been very competitive in the final for the first women's Zwift Academy, but kept her in real life, not in real life, but her decided to pursue her career over a professional career. So she's just got world class type power, and once we get maybe some more competition out there at that level, we might be able to see them to battle it out for the women. But the women definitely a lot of the women definitely, I believe, want their own race, and I think it's a good thing. And what do you think, Quentin? I mean, some women though definitely. I mean, Lindsay liked racing. My wife loved racing against the men, but at the same time, in a competition like this, you're looking for who's going to go to a final.
Yeah, it's definitely good to have both options, but in that kind of competition, it's good to, when you have so much on the line, to have a women only race. I've not been a very fervent defender of women only type of things, but in that case, I think the women only races are something that cannot be avoided, because they have a style of racing that's very different from the men in the kind of effort they put out, not by the raw numbers, but by the way they use them. And it wouldn't fit in a men's race by I don't know if I could explain it, but the way they race is kind of different, and it would maybe get in favor of some women that would find themselves a little bit further down in a women's only race. And as well, you get that feeling that you are actually racing for the win and not just to hang on as much as you can to a group.
Yeah, so what you're saying is that there'd be pack drafting that would influence the race in a mass start. That wouldn't be head to head as much. Women against women kind of a thing is what you're getting at, Quentin.
Yeah, women against women, and plus the whole tactics to that comes with the finish line. The late attacks that you couldn't see mixed with some other groups in a men's race. And I mean, when you get that much at stake as we have in the CVR World Cup League, you have to separate the categories, whether it's men and women or A, B, C's, and D's. There's so much on the line that you have to give everyone a chance to, well, at least to give them the opportunity to, I don't know, to wave the arm in the air when they see they come first, and to give them the chance to battle it for a win. And that's so different from taking 10 or 11 or 15, that you have to give the rider the chance to experience that.
So there is another comment coming here from Espen. And Espen, in real life, I totally, completely agree with this comment. So this is mostly flat routes, so there's more dependent on watt per surface, more than watts per kilogram. But in Zwift, watts per kilogram is king. Unless the weight differences are extreme. So Scotty Weiss, his watts per kilogram though, like watts per surface, he is not doing as much as somebody on a flatter route, but he'll still win on a flatter route because on Zwift, watts per kilogram, and there's been lots and lots of looks into this with different equations from the community and stuff, trying to figure out exactly what wins. And at the end of the day, on Zwift, watts per kilogram, even on flatter courses. Now, not as much on the flatter course, but definitely still watts per kilogram is above just pure watts. Because on a flatter course in real life, right on, dude. I am totally with you on that. Like, it's not just about watts per kilogram. It's only about that when you get into a lot of climbing courses. But and on flatter course, it's about more pure wattage. What do you got to produce pure speed? But on Zwift, they've made it so that I think there's some evening out there too, so that the watts per kilogram makes it so everybody rides at about the same speed at similar watts per kilogram, because it's about cycling made social there too. So, Carissa, I don't think that's true. Zwift works like in real life. There is no watts per kilogram is king on Zwift. No, I don't think that that's true, but I've seen it time and time again. I'm watching these races over and over and over again. Show me the evidence. I'd love to see it. And I'm pretty sure there's evidence out there of the other way. Yeah, I think it's been tested. It's been tested, and I think inconclusive. Then, because we've had some pretty, I believe it was Schlang threw that out there as well, but we'll have to wait and see if I am incorrect about that. But I'm pretty sure watts per kilogram is king out on Zwift, and that's coming straight from Hodges. Was one of the testers, I believe, that gave me that information. James Hodges, who I think looks at more Zwift data than any others in the world of Zwift. Don't spread the myth. I don't think it's a myth at all. Not at all. Who's got the data, Carissa? We'll leave this for where's the data coming from? I want a link. You're a mod. Throw a link out there. Let's see it.
I think the data are in some kind of spreadsheet, but that's just what I heard.
Yeah. It might be in a spreadsheet. Might be a spreadsheet. So Chris is saying that ZP has said was watts per kilogram correlated best with race results. Had nothing to do with physics. So Zwift Insider. I'm gonna have to take a look at that, as I think we'll have to wait and see. If I'd love to see the data on that, because from what I see in racing day in and day out, I would like to know how precisely scientific that was. No, I don't need you to like how many different instances and how that was played out, because I'm not sure. Maybe we can have that discussion on Friday, but I am fairly convinced right now that there is the reason being is because Karis, my daughter, will keep up with anyone on Zwift at 4 watts per kilogram on a flat. She's putting out 90 watts. Like, I've seen it firsthand. Super light riders who have like no wattage whatsoever put out 3 or 4 watts per kilogram and do the same speed as the riders that are around them, not drafting. So I'm pretty sure they balance it out on watts per kilogram stronger than pure wattage. Yeah, I understand that. That would be, but that's not in real life with that much of a difference. Someone being 3 to 4 feet tall versus 5 feet tall. Yeah, there's a lot of surface area there, but not that much. Not that much. No, we're not going to have a Zwift community chat. This will be a topic on Friday then. I'll open this up. I'm looking for Carissa or someone other prominent in the... actually, let's invite Eric to talk about the test. That's what I'll do as well. So Zwift community chat, Friday. Maybe I can get Eric on. Carissa, we'll have a fight. Of course they've said that, Carissa. Of course they've said that. Of course they've said that it's modeled after real life. That's in there. That's in everyone's interest to say that but like, all right. We're going to stop arguing with chat. I'm with Carissa, Rachel says. Racing on Zwift shouldn't be compared to anything but racing on Zwift, Johnny Noblet says. Oh, man. So, all right, guys. We're going to get going. That was a lot of fun, though. Quentin's just laughing. Quentin's just standing there laughing at me at this point. Yeah. All right. So, we'll get this in on Zwift community chat on Friday, everybody. Hopefully, we can get Eric on. Because I want him to be able to chat for himself as well here, not argue vicariously either. So, all right, everybody, thanks a lot for tuning in. CVR World Cup, solid results all around. The winner today on that was Rachel Elliott, followed up by Anya Fiorich. I'm not going to get that ever. Kristen Falk was third place there. Then we had Fidar, Mel, Johannes Herman, and Marcin Griswonos. And we'll see everybody tomorrow for Workout Wednesday. I think we got double up on Workout Wednesday. Again, this was the CVR World Cup winter season. 8 weeks starting today. First race in the season. Solid job on grabbing those points for your top finishers. It is 2 halves, 4 weeks each. Winner goes to invitation. We'll get an invitation CVR World Cup Live. Must accept it to be crowned. Looking forward to that postseason as well. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Quentin, have a great day, bud. We'll see you maybe on Thursday. We'll see if we'll bring you in for some more commentary.
Yeah, of course, for the E-Crete, I guess, on Thursday.
All right, sounds good. Sounds good. Thanks for staying up late for us. Appreciate it, Quentin. Have a good night, bud.
Have a good one.
All right, that was Quentin Lefay coming at you from France. Appreciate him always jumping in with us. I'm Nathan Garrett coming at you from Zwift Community Live headquarters here. We are covering the CVR World Cup. If you haven't done so already, head on over to our twitch.tv channel. Hit that follow button for live updates. Anytime we do go live, you do get push notifications to your mobile app, your email, or your desktop app if you do have those Twitch applications. And you do need to turn on those notifications over at Twitch in order to get those live updates. All right, everybody, we'll be back tomorrow with Workout Wednesday. Make sure to tune in for that. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in as always and all the support. And congratulations to all the riders. And as always, ride on.